Hello everyone, my name is CantDoGames and welcome back to the Weird News. Today's Weird News, we're going to find out what is the word of the year by Oxford. And I'll tell you one thing, it's not what you're going to think. Goblin mode has been named as Oxford's word of the year. Yep. You gotta love the public votes and humour. You gotta fucking love it sometimes. Just like Boaty Muck Boatface. And also, studies explain what you may see in your final moments of death. Yeah, scientists, by accident, they say, think they know what happens before you die. Like, what you see when your brain goes all mad. And it kind of reminds me of this movie.
Flatline.
I got you. Anyways, that's all to come today on today's Weird News. I hope you stick around. I hope you enjoy. And if you do, don't forget to leave a like to show that you enjoyed. Anyways, let's do this. Goblin mode has been named as Oxford's Word of the Year 2022. I didn't even know they had things such as like what word is for the list of the year. I think there's loads of actually things like it, like colour, word, number, loads. I think it's really random, but Goblin mode? Like, what happens? Is it like you hulking out like how the Hulk does? You turn to a goblin? Do you become greedy? Like, what does it mean? I've never heard of it before in my life. We might as well stop 2022 here, folks, as it's not going to get any better than this. This year, Oxford Word of the Year has been chosen by the public for the first time ever, and wouldn't be surprised if the vote was never made public ever again. I say this because officially 2022 Oxford Word of the Year is Goblin mode. I haven't seen a public vote go this well since Boaty Muck Boatface. Oh yeah, Boaty Muck Boatface. If you don't know about Boaty Muck Boatface, it's basically they asked the public what they would like to name this new research ship they built, and people said Boaty Muck Boatface, and they had to go with it, and so now it's called Boaty Muck Boatface. Oh, you gotta love people. You gotta love some humans in the world. They're so just, yeah. Goblin mode is a phrase that blew up on the internet this year, and according to Oxford can be defined as a type of behaviour which is unapologetical, self-indulged, lazy, slovenly or greedy, typically in a way that rejects social norms or expectations. So, a psychopath. Yeah. Basically a psychopath. There's something so satisfying about imaging Oxford's top lexicographers trying to formulate equilibrium definition for the phrase as painfully online and feral as Goblin mode. Oxford University Press gave people 3 different words to choose from as 2022's word of the year before 340,000 English speakers across the globe voted. It was a strong and victorious for Goblin mode, earning 93% of the overall votes. That's 318,956 votes. Julia Fox would be proud. In the second place was Metaverse. Oh yeah, Metaverse because virtual reality. The virtual reality space that allows users to interact with each other in a computer-generated environment, earning 14,484 votes. And in third place was the hashtag #IStandWith, which became popular online this year among activists for explaining thousands of people took to social media this year to share standing with Ukraine. Oh yeah, that got 8,639 votes. So they only had to choose out of 3. I wish it was more like, I don't know, like they gave them like more opinions. Like someone started off with a word, some other people put their own, and then like other people then like, oh no, that would be really bad actually. That wouldn't work, would it? Yeah, something really bad would come out of that if you had to like make up a new word for a year. Oh god, I wouldn't trust the public with that. Especially with the old one, Boaty Muck Boatface. He will be a legend forever. A point worth noting in the absolute insane story is that the only real word that has in the running for Word of the Year is Metaverse, since neither Goblin mode nor I stand with are singular words so much as a phrase, and it didn't win. I do love a public vote. the good people at Oxford seem to have taken the whole thing in good spirits. Well, that's good. Caspar Graffhol, president of Oxford Language, commented, "We were hoping the public would enjoy being brought into the process, but this level of engagement with the campaign caught us totally by surprise." I can imagine. The strength of the response highlights how important our vocabulary is to understand who we are and perceiving what happens to the world around us. So, Goblin mode. Given the year we've just experienced, Goblin mode resonates with all of us who are feeling a little overwhelmed at this point. Relief to acknowledging that we're not always the idealists that we've encouraged to present on our Instagram and TikToks. Oh yeah, so basically, it's saying Goblin mode is basically when everyone just stayed in, didn't get the haircuts, couldn't go socialise. Basically what I still do now. I'm still Goblin mode then. So I'm the psychopath here. Alright. Alternatively, the Collins Dictionary has chosen Permacrist as their word of the year, which is defined as an extended period of instability and insecurity, especially one resulting from a series of catastrophic events. Consequently, is what I'm about to have after finding out that Oxford word of the year is Goblin mode. So he's gonna have a mental breakdown because of the word. Goblin mode has now been voted. Alright, fuck it. Well, there you go, everyone. It doesn't sound like Goblin mode has said it's like very antisocial, you sit indoors, you couldn't socialise with anyone. But that was more like, it's not a word though, it's a phrase, it's a saying, ain't it? So I can understand. But still, Goblin mode. I'm still Goblin mode in then. Alright. Alright guys, that was the first bit of weird news. Let's see now. What happens moments before your death? I don't know what that was. Study explains what you may see in your final moments before death. I can answer this question very simply. When people say they see a light or images of their past, it's because your brain is blasting off electric pulses extremely, very, very extremely fast. So your brain doesn't have to cope, and because your body's shutting down, your brain will go through a sort of like panic attack, and that's why you see probably your past, probably why you see your memories from your past and all that. See your life flash before your eyes, and the flash and light that you see is actually because of the electric signals that are going through your brain. Is actually that there's that many of them. It's hitting like the eyelid, the eyes at the back, so it gives the image of a white light. It's just neutrons, electrons just going mad. I'm kind of worried because they said studies explain. I'm really worried that they've kind of, I hope they haven't, they probably haven't, but you never know. You ever watched the movie Flatliner? You know how they do it in the movie? I really hope that's not how they did it. Poor fucking sods whoever had to do that experiment. One minute, what about, I've got a weird question actually before I get into this actually. What about a blind person? What would they see? Would they actually see any, sorry. I'm trying to be serious. Would they actually see anything? A study has revealed what could happen in the final moments before death. Research from the Scientific Accident has indicated that the suggestion that life flashes before our eyes before death could actually have some truth to it. The data was discovered when a team of scientists measured the brainwaves of an 87-year-old man who had developed epilepsy. However, the patient sadly suffered a fatal heart attack while the team were conducting a neurologic reading, which revealed an unexpected insight into what could happen when people die. Oh shit. Maybe you never know, no probably not, but the old man maybe knew that he was about to die and probably wanted to give proof of the afterlife or maybe something. You never know. He's gone now, so we can't ask him really, can we? So the recording, which is the first ever recording of a dying brain, indicates that in 30 seconds before and after death, brainwaves followed a pattern similar to dreaming or recalling memories. Scientists think the findings could suggest flashback before the end of life. Dr. Ajma Zema, co-author of the study, which has published in Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience, told the BBC, "This was actually totally by chance, and we did not plan to do this experiment or record these signals," he said. "I would speculate that if the brain did a flashback, it would probably like to remind you of good things rather than the bad things. but what's memorable would be different for every person. Yeah, it's true. Some like very traumatic things could be flashed back to your in your last moments of life. So it could also be very bad and sad. They won't. It probably won't be memories that are like from when you're a child. There'll probably be memories for like up to like 5 years, maybe less than 5 years, that have been stored. Because after like 10 or so years, I think even make it less than that probably. Your brain forgets things for so it can have more room. That's why you don't really remember your childhood, and like other things just go towards the motor functions. Like the things you learn as a child, you don't think about it anymore, do you? They just go to the back of your brain and go wherever. I don't know where they go, but they go somewhere. Dr. Zemmer added that the activity continued for 30 seconds after the patient's heart stopped beating. This could possibly be at last recall to memories that were experienced in life, and they replayed through our brain in the last seconds before we die, he said. The study also raises questions about the point of death and whether it occurs when the heart stops beating or when the brain activity ends. I would say your body has died when the heart stops because it's the blood flow, but when your heart stops, that's when your brain stops because your brain ain't getting any blood or oxygen to it. But I believe it's the brain that is us. I believe it's the brain that is who we are, not the heart, but that's scientifically. So I believe you are still alive, but it's so fast, it's like impossible to stop it or bring it back, you know? Dr. Zemmer explains that more studies would need to be conducted, adding the conclusion cannot be drawn just once. I never felt comfortable to report one's case, he said. However, one study from 2013 also offered interesting findings in the study. US scientists looked at brainwaves activity in healthy rats and at the point of death until 30 seconds after death. Dr. Zemmer described the similarities between the study and research conducted in 2013 as astonishing. I think there's something mystic and spiritual about the whole near-death experience, he said. And finding like this, it's a moment that scientists live for. I guess so, but it was done by an accident, wasn't it? Almost. Actually, think about most science-proven things were done accidentally. Most of them were. But yeah, it is. It's not. It can be. It's not something spiritual. It's your brain's just firing off the last bit of neurons in its brain before it just dies, and that's it. I think it might be some sort of coping mechanism, so our bodies don't panic. So it is sort of like Flatliners, because if you watch the movie Flatline, they actually do say they experience memories and flashbacks of their childhood. Now I'm worried. We're going to get haunted by stuff or something like that now. I hope not. Okay, everyone, that was today's weird news. Let me know your thoughts and your opinions in the comments below, and if I've said anything wrong, like if I mentioned something that didn't seem right, correct me in the comments and that. I always like to learn more. If I know some facts, I might not know 100% of them. So if you know it correctly, let me know, because then I learn from it. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you tomorrow. Ciao.